Finding love feels like hunting for a unicorn while blindfolded. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Once upon a time, men were the breadwinners, protectors, and providers. Women were caregivers, nurturers, and homemakers, but things have changed. Women today are chasing their own dreams, climbing career ladders, and doing it all with confidence. But here's where things get tricky for men. Many are struggling to adapt to these new dynamics. What does it mean to provide in a world where women have their own financial stability? Is it still the man's job to pay for dinner, or do you split the bill? And then there's the emotional side of things. Emotional vulnerability is now expected. But we've got decades of conditioning telling men to man up. Can we take a moment of silence for all the men trying to balance being strong and soft at the same time? Then there is fear of rejection. If that's not every man's worst nightmare, I don't know what is. The idea of being vulnerable, putting yourself out there, and getting shot down, it's terrifying. And it doesn't help that social media has given everyone a front row seat to everyone else's perfect relationships. Men are taught from a young age to be strong, stoic, and unbreakable. But guess what? That's not working in the dating world. Women today want emotional depth, communication, and vulnerability. But that's easier said than done. How do you open up when society's been telling you to keep it together since childhood? Guys, the truth is vulnerability is strength. Learning to navigate these emotional waters might just be the secret to surviving the modern dating world. Again, let's be real for a second. Expectations have never been higher. And I'm not talking about he must be over 6 feet tall and have a six-figure salary. Well, maybe I am. The point is, we're living in a world where Instagram influencers, TikTok trends, and lifestyle goals are setting the bar sky high. Men are expected to be emotionally available, successful, fit, and stylish. Oh, and let's not forget, he has to be funny, full of love, and be a great cook. That's a lot of pressure. In reality, no one is perfect, but when the world around us is constantly flashing images of perfection, it's easy to feel like you're not measuring up. It's not about lowering your standards, but rather recognizing that we're all flawed, and that's what makes love so real. All right, let's talk about money. For generations, men were expected to be the providers, the ones who brought home the bacon, but in today's world, financial pressures are intense, and being the sole provider isn't always realistic. The economy isn't exactly a playground for the faint-hearted. With rising costs of living, job competition, and financial instability, it's no wonder men feel the weight of the world on their shoulders. Yet, there's still a lingering expectation to provide, which can lead to feelings of inadequacy and insecurity. How do you navigate this new world where both partners contribute, but those old ideals still hang around like a bad habit? Next, what happened to simplicity? The good old days, when your grandparents met at a local dance, exchanged glances across the room, and were married within 6 months. Those days are long gone, my friends. Now, instead of locking eyes across a room, you're locking thumbs swiping right on Tinder. Dating has transformed. We've moved from arranged marriages to a swipe and chat culture in a few short decades. But with all this convenience came complexity. Nowadays, meeting someone isn't the problem. It's connecting on a deeper level that's the real challenge. With everything so fast-paced, have we lost the art of love? Remember the days when you actually had to walk up to someone and introduce yourself? The nerve-wracking anticipation, the sweaty palms, the human interaction. Today, we've swapped all that for a dating app buffet where you can swipe, match, and ghost all within the same afternoon. Convenient? Sure. But here's the catch. When you have too many options, commitment becomes scarier than a horror movie marathon. And men, it's hard out there. The paradox of choice is real. With so many potential matches just a click away, why settle? Why invest in someone when another match might be waiting in the next scroll? It's like being at a buffet and never committing to a plate because the dessert station might have just what you're looking for. But seriously, are we all just doomed to endless swiping? Then marriage. It used to be the goal, the happy ever after, the white picket fence, and 2 to 5 kids. But today, commitment looks different. Some people don't see marriage as a necessity anymore. With rising divorce rates and the normalization of non-traditional relationships, fewer men are rushing to settle down. Men are hesitant, not just because of fear, but because they're uncertain about what marriage means in this era. Is it still a lifelong bond, or just a temporary chapter? The changing landscape of relationships is confusing, and it's no wonder many men are treading cautiously. So, where do we go from here? Is finding love today impossible? Absolutely not. But it does require a shift in perspective. Men, the key is in balancing old-school values with new-age expectations. Embrace vulnerability, drop the fear of rejection, and learn to meet women where they are, strong, independent, and multifaceted. Remember, relationships are about connection, not perfection. It's okay to feel lost sometimes, but the path forward is in growing emotionally, learning to communicate, and letting go of unrealistic ideals. The journey might be complicated, but isn't love worth the challenge? I believe it is, and that is the reason I create this content. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more insights on modern relationships. And if you're interested in exploring more insights on relationship dynamics, be sure to check out our video on why men are opting out of marriages. Until next time, keep swiping with purpose.